Imagine this scene for a moment. A young woman stands on a tennis court in Mallorca, Spain, hitting powerful forehands back and forth with Rafael Nadal. Yes, that Rafael Nadal, the same Rafa who won 22 Grand Slam titles and is considered one of the greatest tennis players of all time. He retired from professional tennis just 1 year ago, walking away from the sport that made him a global icon. But here he is, back on the court, not for a comeback, but to practice with a 20-year-old left-handed player from the Philippines named Alex Eala. This is not some publicity stunt or a quick photo opportunity for social media. This is real. This is meaningful. Alex Eala literally grew up in Nadal's tennis academy. She spent 6 years of her young life absorbing everything she could about his mentality, his work ethic, and his approach to the game. Now she is ranked 50th in the world and making history every single time she steps onto a tennis court. When Nadal posted on social media saying it felt great to be back on a tennis court after a year away and that it was wonderful to practice with Alex, people began to understand that this story goes much deeper than tennis. This is about legacy. This is about passing the torch from one generation to the next. This is about a young woman from Quezon City, Philippines, who risked everything to chase a dream and is now living proof that hard work and dedication really do pay off. If you love stories about people who overcome the odds and achieve greatness through pure determination, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We share inspiring stories like this one all the time, and your support helps us keep bringing these incredible journeys to light. Now, let's dive into the remarkable story of Alex Eala. Alexandra Eala was born on May 23, 2005 in Quezon City, Philippines. By the time she was just 13 or 14 years old, she had already made a life-changing decision that most teenagers could never even imagine making. She packed her bags, said goodbye to her family and friends, and moved halfway around the world to Spain. Her destination was the Rafael Nadal Academy in Manacor, Mallorca, Spain, one of the most prestigious tennis training facilities in the world. This was not a short vacation or a summer camp experience. Alex committed 6 full years of her life to this academy. Every single day, she had to balance regular school classes at the Rafael Nadal School with incredibly demanding training sessions that pushed her to her absolute limits. The goal was simple but incredibly difficult to achieve. She needed to transform her raw natural talent into professional-level skill. By the time she graduated from the academy in 2023, the tennis world was already starting to pay attention to this young Filipino player who seemed to have something special. But when Alex first arrived at the academy as a young teenager, she was just another hopeful kid with a dream. The environment at the Nadal Academy was intense and unforgiving. The entire culture of the place was built around Rafael Nadal's legendary work ethic, his iron discipline, and his absolute refusal to make excuses. These values were not just encouraged at the academy, they were literally the air that everyone breathed. It was the foundation of everything that happened there. The academy was about so much more than just hitting tennis balls for hours every day. It was about copying the mindset of a living legend whose name was on the front gate and whose countless trophies were displayed throughout the building. Young players like Alex were surrounded by constant reminders of what true greatness looked like and what it took to achieve it. Alex absorbed all of this like a sponge. She took every lesson to heart and worked relentlessly to improve every aspect of her game. Alex won her first professional title in January 2021, and the location could not have been more perfect. She won an ITF W15 tournament right there in Manacor, Spain, on the same island where Rafael Nadal's academy is located. She was still a teenager when she lifted that first professional trophy, and the symbolism was powerful. She had learned what it meant to be a professional tennis player in that exact place, and now she was proving that all those years of hard work and sacrifice had been worth it. That first title was huge, not just because it was her first, but because it proved to herself and to everyone watching that she could turn all those years of academy training into real, tangible results on the professional tour.
However, Alex's impressive resume was already stacked with achievements even before she started making noise on the main WTA tour. As a junior player, she was absolutely dominant. When she was just 12 years old, she won the prestigious Les Petits As tournament in 2018. This is the same youth tournament that crowned future tennis legends like Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and many other top players when they were kids. Winning that tournament as a 12-year-old put Alex on the map in the junior tennis world. She continued to climb higher and higher in the junior rankings, eventually reaching number 2 in the ITF Junior World Rankings. She won junior Grand Slam doubles titles at the 2020 Australian Open and the 2021 French Open, showing that she could compete and win on the biggest stages in junior tennis. But the crown jewel of her junior career came at the 2022 U.S. Open. Alex won the girls' singles title, becoming the very first Filipina player ever to win a junior Grand Slam championship in singles. That U.S. Open title was not just another trophy for her collection. It was a powerful statement that Alex Eala was built to perform on the biggest stages in tennis. Then 2025 arrived, and it felt like someone hit the fast-forward button on Alex's entire career. She started the year ranked around number 140 in the world. She was still outside the 100 and was having to grind through qualifying rounds just to get into the main draws of bigger tournaments. She made the semifinals of the Cambodia International Tournament in January 2025, which was a solid way to start the year, but absolutely nobody was prepared for what was about to happen when she arrived in Miami.
As a wildcard entry ranked 140 in the world, Alex walked into the Miami Open, which is a WTA 1000 event featuring the biggest names in women's tennis. These are the tournaments just below Grand Slams in terms of prestige and ranking points. Alex proceeded to go absolutely nuclear. In the first few rounds, she beat Jelena Ostapenko in straight sets. Then she took down Madison Keys, who was ranked 5th in the world at the time. These were already massive victories that would have made headlines on their own. But then, in the quarterfinals, Alex did something that seemed almost impossible. She beat the world number 2 player, Iga Swiatek. Iga was the reigning French Open champion and one of the most dominant forces in women's tennis. Alex beat her in straight sets, 6-2, 7-5. Let that sink in for a moment. A wild-card player ranked 140 in the world beat the world number 2 in straight sets at a major tournament. By reaching the semifinals, Alex became the first Filipino player ever to reach the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event. She also became the first Filipino to beat multiple top 5 players and Grand Slam champions at the professional tour level. And remember, she did all of this as a wild-card entry. The entire tennis world was shocked. People could not believe what they were witnessing. And watching from his home in Spain, Rafael Nadal jumped on social media and posted a message of support. He wrote that he and everyone at the academy were extremely proud of Alex and that she had played an incredible tournament. He encouraged her to keep dreaming. That message was not coming from some random fan or casual observer. It was coming from the man whose academy had raised her, whose blueprint for success she had been following for 6 years, and whose mentality she had worked so hard to adopt. After her incredible run in Miami, Alex did not just get a bunch of headlines and social media buzz. She got concrete results that changed her career. Her world ranking jumped more than 60 spots, rocketing her into the WTA Top 100 for the very first time in her career. That milestone alone would have been enough to make 2025 a historic year for Philippine tennis. But Alex was not done making history. On the grass courts of England, she continued her impressive form. She reached the quarterfinals at the Ilkley Open and then made her first ever WTA Tour final at Eastbourne, which is a WTA 250 event. She finished as the runner-up to Maja Shilinska in a heartbreaking 3-set final that could have gone either way. Although she did not win the title, reaching a WTA final was another massive achievement.
Alex also made her main draw debut at Wimbledon in 2025. She faced defending champion Barbora Krejcikova on center court, which is one of the most famous tennis courts in the world. Although she ultimately lost the match, she pushed the defending champion to 3 sets before falling. That Wimbledon moment was massive for several reasons. First, it was her first time playing at the All England Club, which is considered the most prestigious tournament in tennis. Second, it proved to everyone watching that she could compete against the absolute best players on the sport's biggest stage. She was not intimidated by the moment or by facing a defending Grand Slam champion on center court. The summer continued to bring more historic firsts. At the 2025 U.S. Open, Alex faced Clara Tauson in the first round. The match turned into an epic comeback story. Alex found herself down 1-5 in the third set, meaning she was just 1 game away from losing the match. But she refused to give up. She rallied all the way back and won the third set in a tiebreak, 7-6. The final score was 6-3, 2-6, 7-6. That victory was incredibly significant because it made Alex the first Filipino player ever to win a Grand Slam main draw singles match in the Open era. It was yet another piece of history added to her growing list of achievements. She lost in the second round to Cristina Buxa, but the most important damage had already been done. Alex Eala was no longer just a promising prospect or a name to watch for the future. She was a legitimate top 100 player who could beat anyone on any given day. In September, Alex captured her first WTA 125 singles title at the Guadalajara Open. She showed incredible mental strength by coming back from being down 1 set to defeat Ana Bondar with a final score of 1-6, 7-5, 6-3. By winning that title, she became the first Filipino player ever to win a WTA-level singles title. This was a groundbreaking achievement for Philippine tennis. That Guadalajara title pushed Alex's ranking to a career high of number 50 in the world in early November 2025. This made her the first Filipina ever to crack the WTA Top 50 and the highest-ranked Filipino tennis player in history, male or female. By the time her 2025 season came to an end, the statistics were absolutely remarkable. She finished the year with 40 wins and 26 losses in singles matches. Her career record stood at 109 wins and 117 losses in professional singles matches. She had earned over $1.36 million in career prize money. Alex stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. She plays left-handed with a two-handed backhand, which is the same style that Rafael Nadal used throughout his legendary career. By the age of 20, she had already collected 5 ITF singles titles, 1 WTA 125 title, and multiple ITF doubles titles. Her junior career achievements include 3 Grand Slam titles, peaking as the ITF Junior World No. 2, and proving early in her career that she was built for handling pressure situations. Against top 10 players at the WTA level, Alex has notable victories over Madison Keys and Iga Swiatek, giving her a 2 wins and 2 losses record against top 10 opponents. This is an incredibly impressive statistic for a player who just turned 20 years old and is still early in her professional career. Now, fast forward to November 2025. It has been exactly 1 year since Rafael Nadal played his last professional match at the Davis Cup Finals and officially announced his retirement from tennis. After a full year away from competitive tennis, he walks back onto the court at his academy in Mallorca. Standing across the net from him is Alex Eala, the young woman who trained under his roof for 6 years, who graduated from his academy just 2 seasons earlier, and who is now ranked 50th in the world and rewriting the history of Philippine tennis with every tournament she plays. They trade heavy forehands back and forth across the net. They laugh together during rallies. They clearly enjoy being back on the court together. The Academy posts video clips and photos on social media that basically send a clear message to the tennis world. The message is simple but powerful. You are carrying this legacy forward now. The torch has been passed.
For Alex, this practice session was about so much more than just hitting tennis balls with a retired legend. It was validation of everything she had worked for. It was a reminder that the man whose blueprint she had copied, whose mentality she had absorbed, whose work ethic she had tried to match every single day for 6 years, still believes that her ceiling is way higher than world number 50. He believes she can go even further. He believes she has what it takes to compete for the biggest titles in tennis. The story of Alex Eala is about so much more than tennis rankings and tournament results. It is a story about sacrifice. At 13 years old, she left everything familiar behind and moved to a foreign country where she did not speak the language fluently. She spent her teenage years away from her family, her friends, and the only home she had ever known. She did all of this because she believed in her dream and was willing to pay whatever price was necessary to chase it. It is a story about cultural pride and representation. Every time Alex steps onto a tennis court, she carries the hopes and dreams of an entire nation with her. The Philippines has never had a tennis player reach these heights before. She is showing young Filipino athletes that they can compete with anyone in the world if they are willing to work hard enough and believe in themselves. She is opening doors that were previously closed and creating a path that others can now follow. It is a story about mentorship and legacy. Rafael Nadal could have simply retired and walked away from tennis completely. Instead, he built an academy to pass on his knowledge and his values to the next generation of players. Alex is living proof that his academy works and that his approach to tennis and to life can produce champions. When Nadal looks at Alex, he sees a player who represents everything he stood for during his career: hard work, mental toughness, never giving up, and always giving 100% effort regardless of the situation. It is a story about believing in yourself even when the odds are stacked against you. The path from Quezon City to the WTA Top 50 is not an easy one. It requires talent, yes, but it also requires unwavering self-belief, incredible mental strength, and the ability to keep pushing forward even when things get difficult. Alex has shown all of these qualities throughout her journey. As Alex continues her career, the tennis world will be watching closely to see just how far she can go. With a game built on a solid foundation from the Nadal Academy, a work ethic that matches that of her mentor, and the mental toughness to compete with the best players in the world, there is no telling what she might achieve in the coming years. She has already made history multiple times. She has already proven that she belongs among the elite players in women's tennis. Now the question is not whether she can compete at the highest level. The question is how many more barriers she will break and how many more historic achievements she will add to her already impressive resume. The practice session between Rafael Nadal and Alex Eala in November 2025 was more than just two tennis players hitting balls together. It was a symbolic moment that captured something beautiful about sports. It showed us that legends never truly leave the game. They live on through the players they inspire and the athletes they help develop. Rafael Nadal's legacy will not only be his 22 Grand Slam titles or his incredible winning record. His legacy will also include players like Alex Eala, who learned from him, who adopted his mentality, and who are now carrying his approach to tennis forward into the future. For young athletes everywhere, especially in the Philippines and throughout Southeast Asia, Alex Eala's story sends a powerful message. Your dreams are not too big. Your goals are not unrealistic. With the right mindset, the right training, and an unwavering commitment to improvement, you can achieve things that seem impossible. You can break through barriers. You can make history. You can become the first person from your country to reach heights that no one before you has ever reached. All it takes is belief, hard work, and the courage to leave your comfort zone and chase your dreams wherever they may lead you.
As we look ahead to the future of tennis, one thing is certain: we have not seen the last of Alex Eala making headlines. We have not seen her reach her full potential yet. And when Rafael Nadal says he is proud of her and encourages her to keep dreaming, he knows something that the rest of us are just beginning to understand. Alex Eala's story is just getting started. The best is yet to come.